I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Now here's Winston. Loading up, gotta hurry, hit from behind. Ball is out. And this game is over. And Micah Parsons finally gets home. And he is now 9-0 in his career against the New York Giants.
Yeah, it turns out that was a good move. That Micah Parsons guy shaking out pretty good. Fox on the call. Drew Brees did a nice job yesterday, Tommy.
Nice job. Yeah, nice job for sure. I like Adam Amin, too. I always think he's solid.
We talked before we came on the air that it's good when you don't make a setting for yourself in your first game on how terrible you were. That's why I think Drew Brees did pretty good.
It's also good to not set the expectation too high your first time out, too.
Tony Romo.
Right? Now, Drew Brees, he was just there, had a couple of nice lines, didn't talk over Adam at all. Yeah, it was solid, just par for the course the entire way. Keep doing that, Drew.
Let's do that. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Ward's in for Josh one more day. He returns from vacay tomorrow. We are live on YouTube and Twitter. Join us there at your own peril. Neither of us look rested. Neither of us sound rested. That's because it was a really great Sunday for the Green Bay Packers and Packers fans everywhere. Here on a Green and Gold Monday. I didn't mean to make you sound like you look bad.
I actually took a lot of time to get ready this morning, so that kind of hurt. But I got it. Yeah,
I don't think you did.
Well, I've literally put on like a jacket for you. I don't know what more you want.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Did you take the hat you're wearing right now? Was the hat you had on during the post-game show yesterday?
Yeah.
And I'd like to think you slept with it on.
I did not. No, I don't sleep with hats on. That's
I didn't think you did.
I couldn't, like, it would fall off in my sleep at some point too. I have like a wrestling match with my dreams every night if you look at my bed after. So no, I did not sleep with the hat on. I put the hat back on.
Just for us.
Yeah, it's a great hat.
Packers 27, Giants 20 in a much needed win, but to quote Matt Schneidman from The Athletic, it was another unconvincing win for the Green Bay Packers. And I think that's probably where we should start. We talked about this all last week. At the end of the day, what was going to make us happy as Packers fans? Waking up Monday morning, live on the radio, statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And we're like, yeah, okay. All right, okay, it's a win. It's what we wanted. We weren't convinced that we were going to come out with a win, and yet somehow that's an unconvincing win. So, Tommy, how do we feel this Monday morning?
So a lot of the time, I do the Green Bay football post-game show immediately after every Packers game as well on this station, and that's very raw. You get, a lot of the times you're told sleep on it, see how you feel. I was very critical of the Green Bay Packers yesterday. But I think unconvincing is the wrong word from Matt Schneidman, because absolutely the Packers should have won that football game.
Yeah.
Watching that game, I know the box score or the stats might tend to lean Giants a little bit. They had like almost 10 minutes more of time of possession. They outrushed the Green Bay Packers. But watching that game, the reason the Packers didn't win by 3 touchdowns is they didn't capitalize on any gifts in this game. There was so many opportunities for improvement, but when Green Bay had the ball in their hands and when the Giants had the ball in their hands, more than often than not, it looked like Green Bay was the better football team on the field. They just made it way closer than it needed to be, and that made me angry. So unconvincing, I don't know if that's necessarily the right word for it, but maybe unimpressive is a little bit better word.
Out of this game, what are you convinced of? if this was an unconvincing win and in accordance with Matt Schneidman and the article that he put out on The Athletic yesterday, late last night, I should say, then what are we convinced of?
I'm convinced the O-line is terrible. Like,
okay,
that's don't have to, no more evidence needed. I am all in on that boat. I'm also convinced that maybe personnel past Jordan Love is a bigger problem than we were talking about, because a lot of people were quick to talk about how bad Jordan Love played over the last 2 weeks. And that was bad game to look at, to think, oh, Jordan Love's the problem in that one, in my mind.
Did you think losing Josh Jacobs hurt as much as we feared it may have been, if that ever crossed your mind? I didn't think so. I didn't necessarily go, ooh, oh boy, like we're in big trouble. Granted, I want him back. I think we're better with him, clearly, but I didn't feel like we missed him greatly after he went out. Did you?
No, and you're also talking to Manny Wilson's number one fan. Like, I'm also a massive Emmanuel Wilson guy. I think what he does whenever he comes in, he gets the job done. And especially this season, have you been impressed by Josh Jacobs really at any point this season? If this would have happened last year in the middle of his run, you feel like, oh my gosh, the offense is running all through him and he's taking over games at a time. Josh Jacobs, it feels like this season has been on, okay, obligatory 9-yard touchdown when we're in the red zone. But other than that, like, maybe he was kind of getting things going in a couple of games, but I think Emmanuel Wilson can carry out a little bit of the game activity that they are requiring out of Josh Jacobs. I am worried because I do know he's a massive leader in that clubhouse, who already lost Tucker Kraft, a massive leader in that clubhouse.
I think we talked about that very thing last week. There were two leaders that stuck out in training camp prior to the season. It was Tucker Kraft and it was Josh Jacobs. We cannot afford to lose both of those dudes as leaders in the locker room. But to your point, it hasn't felt like Josh Jacobs has taken over games as he used to. I would chalk that up to our absolutely epic need to establish the run, and we just haven't been able to get that done in order to really open up the passing game. But the passing game looked decent yesterday. Can we please get Jordan Love to slide on that? Like, he slid earlier in the game, and he actually, like, they made contact, and he was real loud about that right away. Hey, can't hit me when I'm sliding. Well, dude, if you're in the open field and you're running, do you want to get hit, or do you just take a slide, call it good? What's wrong with his left shoulder? We don't know.
I don't know. And that's actually some concern I have, because I went through this last year where all I had to hear about was how his knee was nagging him on, right? And you never really got a full healthy Jordan Love, and he couldn't use his legs when he needed to because of that injury. And now I'm wondering, are we about to go through this exact same thing with a shoulder injury now? Because that was very frustrating last year, where it felt like evaluating Jordan Love wasn't fully fair because of the injury to his knee. And we were in a season in which he's probably off to the best start of a season that he's ever had. And now does the evaluation get tainted because of a shoulder injury?
Well, the backup came in, Malik Willis, and I know how much you love the Malik Willis fans out there. We're going to talk a lot about that later in the show. But he didn't look too shabby yet again. Kept the drive alive, ended up throwing a touchdown pass, a 16-yard scamper as well from Willis. Dude, the offense looks energized when Malik Willis is in there. I'm not saying it looks with a lack of energy when Jordan Love is, but do you not agree that they looked very energetic the second Willis got behind center? Why is that?
They did not complete a play action pass until Malik Willis was in the ball game yesterday. I think that Malik Willis gives some level of respect for his legs to a defense when he comes into a game, and maybe to their advantage this year, Malik Willis hasn't gotten into any game action, so he really no tape on him or what they can or cannot do when he is quarterback for the Green Bay Packers in any given situation. But I think Malik Willis, it does his job. And I think Malik Willis does a damn good job every time he has to go out there. And I've been so impressed with his play every time he goes out there. But Matt LaFleur simplifies the offense and doesn't make Malik Willis do anything crazy that he wouldn't find uncomfortable, right? You know, you want to call a run play where he can go out and get 16 yards. Yeah, he's got more wheels than Jordan Love. But Malik Willis, I think, is just really damn good at his job. And his job is to be the backup quarterback.
So is there room for conversation to set up the Packers offense like the Saints used Taysom Hill?
No.
Why?
Because
that was really fast. That was a really quick no.
It was
Why?
I was fearing you were going to ask that question. That's why. Because he's not Taysom Hill. First of all, Taysom Hill gave you the threat to go out and receive a pass. His main goal every time he ran the football was to bash his face into another guy's face. And he probably doesn't throw the ball as well as Malik Willis. I'll give Malik Willis that nod, but again, he was quarterback in college, but no. Well, wasn't there like an old adage of you got two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks, right? Like that's something people go into. Could you imagine that everyone is screaming for more creativity out of Matt LaFleur and his offense with his personnel, and the only way he's able to do it is to take Jordan Love off the field? Like, you want to get this fan base riled up even more, Matt? Do that. Keep doing that. Let's see it, because it looks real cute when he only has to complete 2 passes and run once in a ball game. But if you start doing it all over the place, and once it's on film for everyone else to see and it gets caught up and it doesn't work, then you're going to take the ball out of your $55 million a year, man? No, absolutely not. I think Malik Willis does a damn good job doing his job. Keep it that way.
If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. And it turns out if you have 2 kickers, you have none.
Dude.
What? No.
This is stupid.
You guys, every last one of us wanted Lucas Haversick in the game. Come on. We got to get the guy in there that kicked the longest field goal. The guy that looked like this knight in shining armor for 2 weeks when McManus was hurt. Turns out he's been hurt the whole time. Yesterday, we got our wish. Now what?
I don't know. What? Like, this is dumb. I thought this. I was done worrying about this. I was supposed to be cleared of all of this hate last year after McManus came in, did his job. Everyone was happy, consistent all the way until the playoffs, and then he was going to come back and he was going to be fine. And how many? Wasn't it just McManus hasn't missed a kick all training camp, right? Oh, he was perfect all training camp, never missing. Now he's like one of the worst kickers in the league. And then everyone's calling for Haversick, who kicks a 61-yarder. Oh, come on. He hasn't missed a kick since he's been here.
Shankopotamus.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like it was brutal to watch yesterday. That was like watching college kickers.
I tweeted at Trevor Thomas IW. If you want to follow along, at Tommy WSSP is where you can find Mr. Warts. I'm like, oh, great. I'm back to holding my breath on extra points. Sweet. It's only been, 6 months since I've done that last or whatever it was. I can't with the kicking situation. I don't get it. I have a lot of questions. We'll get to those, and I have questions in the next segment. But I just don't understand what's going on with our special teams. Dude, Lace is out, Dan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's just an error that you don't see very often. Lace is not out, not sideways. Lace is in, directly in.
But it is issues that we always see on the same facet of the game for the Green Bay Packers forever. Not just this year, not last year, not in the Bisaccia 10 year, but my entire life, I've just been sitting there waiting for something to go wrong when someone's kicking a football. That's what happens as a Packer fan. It just happens.
Well, at least that's the only thing we have to worry about, right? Like the kicking wasn't, the offensive line. Oh, what's that? Oh, we can't catch again? Oh, good.
Dude.
Good. The dropsies are back, and bad news, whatever infectious disease our receivers have, they've now given it to our defensive backs.
It's bad. And yesterday was such a frustrating watch with all of the balls just falling on all over the field on the offense, on the defense. And you're talking about this. I actually want to start with the defense when we talk about it, Trevor. Like, this is the number one gripe of this team, is that they cannot commit turnovers. And they had so many opportunities to commit turnovers yesterday, and they refused to capitalize on so many moments. Jameis Winston, I love the guy. He's got a great energy, loves his life, loves playing football, a great role model for kids to look up and just say, hey, if you get to the NFL, you got to be grateful when you do that, right? But he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL for a reason. And yesterday, the Packers defense could have had big stat game, could have had a massive stat game to look even more impressive. And they just refused to capitalize on the opportunities, Trevor.
It certainly didn't seem like the defense that we'd seen the previous few weeks showed up yesterday. And it was on that first drive, whether it's dropped interceptions or the Giants literally just carting it right down the field, going up 7-0. I'm like, wait a minute. We're supposed to be able to count on you guys. Hey, pause for a second. I think we can count on Micah Parsons on the run defense. The first 2 tackles of the game, both run plays, Micah Parsons.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Take that, Colin Cowherd. Pretty good on the run, pretty good on the pass, and a sack to end the game. Parsons finally got home. Dude had a good game yesterday. I did not think, though, that he flushed the quarterback out of the pocket as often as he had in previous games. That or Jameis Winston's just dumb enough to stay in there that long.
Man, I feel like I'm spoiling my I have questions, but I don't know if the front four is all that good. I mean, I think Micah Parsons is a great ball player, and I would do the trade 100 times out of 100 still. But, man, the other guys need to pick it up. Where's Rashawn Gary been since we were all talking about, hey, he's 2 sacks away from his career high 2-3 weeks ago. Hey, Devontae Wyatt, need this guy back because it's a completely different team if he's on the team versus not. Oh, everyone should be excited about the jump Colby Wooden made. Did you hear Colby Wooden's name at all yesterday, Trevor? No. I don't think that it's as deep as it is. There is one other piece that maybe you can say, Tommy, you're overreacting, and that is, I can't believe I'm saying this, Lucas Van Ness hasn't been playing.
Buddy, was he the key to this defense at the beginning of the year? We said it earlier, and I've said it. I know. I've been a really big cheerleader for Lucas Van Ness.
I have not.
I have. Reasoning, I always thought there was a chance that he was going to have a breakout piece. I wasn't sure when or why. Then we brought in Micah Parsons, and I'm like, crap, we're giving up on Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, right? No. When Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Micah Parsons, and Devontae Wyatt are all in there, and that's our front four, that changes things.
Mm-hmm.
And it did earlier in the season. Micah Parsons allowed Rashawn Gary, allowed Lucas Van Ness to really open up their game. How many times did we say Lucas Van Ness's name in the beginning part of the season because he was able to get home because they were doubling Micah Parsons? Or if he was out, they were doubling Rashawn Gary. He's had a really good season. When he went down with the foot, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I feel like that was more important than we were talking about, and I think we're proving it right now.
Yeah, I missed the Cheetah package. It's a great name, first of all. And second of all, it makes sense. You're just trying to put your best athletes all out there on the field at one given time. And Lucas Van Ness, regardless of his production, he is very athletic. I mean, that was why he got drafted as high as he did by the Green Bay Packers. So putting Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, and Micah Parsons all on the field at the same time is 3 of maybe your best athletes on the defense, and for sure your 3 best athletes on the defensive line. I would like to see that package more, and they haven't been able to do that with the absence of Van Ness. Although, sounds like he was practicing at the end of the week.
Yep.
Wasn't going to be a game time decision at all, but hopefully that means now getting into a stretch of 3 straight divisional games in which you have to play the Vikings, the Bears, and the Lions back to back to back. Like, I really hope he's healthy for those 3 games.
Yeah, and a short week next week with the Lions on Thanksgiving. This is what we asked for. We're here. Vikings, Lions, Bears, the next 3 weeks, coming off of potentially an unconvincing win. Last I checked, we got about 3 hours to talk about it with you. So make sure you get your questions in now. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. We are inside Wisconsin sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Wartz is here live statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I have some questions. Welcome back, Wisconsin. You are inside Wisconsin sports with us, Trevor and Josh. Tommy Wart's in for Josh. Josh will be back tomorrow after his week-long vacay in Florida with his family. A little bit of Warp Tour. Saw a post from him yesterday. He's excited to get back. He misses us. We miss him. And he won't know what to do with himself this week because there's not a lot to complain about from a Packers victory standpoint. I don't know that he might not be okay. We'll see. We'll check in with him tomorrow. Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Join us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. We do this segment at this time every day. Tommy, I have questions.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. We start with Justin from the Port. Good morning, fellas. I have questions. Packers win, but why don't I feel good about it? That's question one. This is the more important question, Tommy, and it's something that you had questions on as well. Why did it seem that the offense had more juice with Willis behind center? Why? Okay, you and I talked last night. There's a note on my page that says, why are we so in love with Malik Willis?
Yeah.
Tommy, the floor is yours.
I preface this in the first segment. Malik Willis is, in my opinion, the best backup quarterback in the NFL. And I think that is a luxury that this Green Bay Packers team has. And I love when Malik Willis comes out on the field and is successful. However, I saw many throws yesterday alone and throughout this season that I know Jordan Love makes that Malik Willis does not make. And at the end of the day, I will say I want the Green Bay Packers to win football games with whatever the personnel is out there on the field. But absolutely, my first choice is Jordan Love 1,000 times out of 100 times over Malik Willis to start a football game. I know last year he did a hell of a job saving the season, maybe with 2.5 games, Jacksonville later on in the year. But I've seen Malik Willis start in the NFL. It's called Tennessee, and it wasn't very good. And I know that can resurface at any time, a la Sam Darnold, 4 interceptions against the Los Angeles Rams yesterday, and maybe their most important, biggest game of the season.
These things will happen. People will have bad games, but he is showing us that he's got something to offer in this offense. I mean, Matt LaFleur said it after the game. We'll hear it later in the show. They don't win without Malik Willis yesterday. Do you at least believe that?
Yes. Okay. But again, he had 6 plays yesterday. Like we're gonna change everything about these 6 plays, and I'll get more infuriated when we play Matt LaFleur talking about it because, again, if he decides, oh, no, let me open my bag of creativity and accept them, Jordan, come off the field. I need Malik for this one. I'm going to lose my mind. And you're going to be lucky because it's not going to be on this show because today's my last day. Josh will be back tomorrow.
It's not your last day. It's just your last day filling in.
Right. So you better hope Josh doesn't go to Disney World again when they start bringing in Malik Willis packages because it's going to be way too much at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll tell you that.
Ann in Oconomowoc says, it feels to me like Josh Jacobs has been dealing with an injury all season. He just seems a little off when we watch him play. Yeah.
I think the offensive line stinks. I think that's really what it boils down to. It's just not good. And they're using the backups of an offensive line that already wasn't very good. So while Josh Jacobs also hasn't been overly impressive, I think you could put anyone from Barry Sanders to a Girl Scout back there, and it probably looks the same with how terrible the offensive line is.
The 319 has a question about this very thing. For the same price as Parsons, would you rather have 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen?
I mean, I feel like this team does. They just aren't playing well as a unit. Like Zach Tom and Elton Jenkins both getting injured in the last week and change, but like they have the individual talent. Rasheed Walker was not a problem last year. He is now a problem. Sean Ryan had his moments last year. He is now a problem when he has to play center. Jordan Morgan wasn't playing last year. He is now a problem that he has to play this year. Aaron Banks, you should go back to making $0 with the 49ers and have someone else pay you this massive contract because you are a problem on the Green Bay Packers. You can point to every one of them individually and say, you are bad. And that's a problem.
And yet you say that we have potential Pro Bowl talent on the offensive line. So is the problem Butkus?
I would say that potential is probably a strong word. Historic Pro Bowl opportunity for this offensive line. We've seen it. That's all I want to say. But yeah, Butkus is maybe inside job with the Bears. They're in first place now.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Just saying. The sports are weird now, man. There's inside jobs all over the place.
The fact that they're in first place, this can't change fast enough for me. This is going to be an agonizing week. You can hear this radio station on the northern point of Illinois. I do not want to talk about that team being in first place anymore.
Yeah.
That needs to change. And leave it to them to have some luck yesterday, which grosses me out. How about no? No luck for Chicago, please.
Had it all year. I mean, I can't believe they've won a couple of they're winning games that the Chicago Bears don't win. And that's a problem.
Let's go to the Nicolay Law fan talk portion of the talk and text line. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. CB in downtown MKE. What's going on, CB?
What's going on, my man? It was a decent win yesterday. I'm not too mad about it, but I really want to talk about this player here. Where was Luke? I can't catch a football. I got drafted, supposed to be the number 1 tight end, Musgrave.
Yeah, I like that one, CB. Yeah, he stinks too, right? I think I'm just about done with Luke Musgrave. Are you?
Yeah, he's a bust.
Yeah.
He's a bust.
Thanks for the buzz, CB. We appreciate that, man. Yeah, he's not wrong. He caught it that he didn't catch it, right? It looked like a fumble in real time, but it turns out it was just an incompletion.
Trevor, this weekend, it is opening gun hunt season.
Yes, it is. This coming weekend, yes.
You will see baby deer with better feet than Luke Musgrave this weekend. Because every time he catches the football, he falls on his face every single time. We are going from the yak king of Tucker Kraft at the tight end position to the guy that really needs to start getting into ballet lessons because he has no idea what's different from left, right. He must put his shoes on the wrong feet because every time I see Musgrave catch the football, he falls to the ground every time. And it has been like that since his rookie year. And the one time he stayed up, it was against Dallas in the playoffs when he scored that touchdown. But I think he is trying to fall to the ground as soon as possible whenever the football is in his hands.
He's proven that he can catch and he has decent catches, right? However, he does not seem to be someone that we can even come close to replacing Tucker Kraft with. He can't block like Tucker. Apparently, he can't catch and run like Tucker. He does have a bit of block feet, which Tucker doesn't necessarily have. He's probably not the leader that Tucker was. But you know what? Shout out to the cat that we just signed off the practice squad. Touchdown catch for Wiley. Is it Wiley? I think it's Wiley.
It's Wiley, yeah. And Fitzpatrick, he had a couple of awesome blocks yesterday. Yeah. And then as soon as they went to him, he dropped the ball. And everyone was like, all right, well, yeah, that was your own one chance to try to catch it. What is really unfair to Luke Musgrave, to be fair, Matt LaFleur is just like, hey, Luke, we're going to put you in place of Tucker Kraft, and everything we ask Tucker Kraft to do, we want you to do in the moments we call upon you, as opposed to, hey, Luke, I know you're a completely different, less talented player than this last guy, and we're going to draw some stuff up to benefit you. That didn't happen yesterday either.
Now what?
It just,
By the way, Wiley, just for a moment, do you know who his college coach was? All 4 years?
Steve
Luke
Belichick.
Fickell.
Oh, great.
Luke Fickell.
Great. Yeah, he churns out great NFL talent all the time.
Tommy's on one, baby. I love it.
Just say
Let's
it.
go. The 920, I have some questions. Trevor, if you ain't got a deer on the ground before noon on Sunday, you coming in to watch the game? Buddy, I don't think you understand how I deer hunt. I don't. I go down to my hometown in Jefferson, Johnson Creek, and I go deer drinking or beer hunting, or I don't know. I don't like getting up early mornings to go and sit in the cold. I'll walk around the woods for a little bit. I'll get to see all my buddies. And if I don't have a deer by 10 a.m. Sunday morning, I will get my ass in the car and start driving home so I can watch the Packer game.
Respect.
I live in a spot where if you're not a hunter, there's something called, I won't bore you. Long story short, my gun license lands a little longer than the prototypical 9-day season because of where I live in the Metro subunit. I know it's a thing. Look it up.
Okay. All right. Like, didn't realize you were Men in Black of deer hunting.
No.
Yeah.
It's just I live in an area where you can use your deer gun tag longer than the 9-day gun hunt that the rest of the state can do. We have a deer problem in the Green Bay metro area, and the DNR wants them gone. So they go, hey, you know what? Go ahead and use that. I think it's like December 7th or something like that. I can use it till.
All right, cool.
Look it up. I'm not lying. Travis and Kenosha, would you say, boys, that these next 3 weeks would be make or break for this season?
They got to go 2-1, right? Got to go 2-1.
They got to go 2-1, and I would like to think that this past weekend's game was more important from a make or break standpoint. I do not know how you recover after potentially losing to the Giants. Thank God that's not a topic of conversation this morning, because that would not be fun for any of us, you and I included.
Yeah.
They got to go 2-1, and they need to make sure that if they're going to lose and show up like bad, it's this weekend.
Ooh.
The Vikings are in last place.
I disagree.
Well, tell me more.
I believe that if they're going to lose a game, Detroit, I think you got to beat Chicago. And I think you have to beat Minnesota, kick them while they're down, get a victory. And they don't look very good either. Their quarterback stinks. Their number one wide receiver is frustrated with how they're playing. Their offensive line can't block anyone as well. They're banged up on the defensive side. I think that they have to win against Minnesota, stack some success. And I believe if you lose on Thanksgiving to Detroit, like, I know it's traditionally been a great game for Green Bay, Thanksgiving in Detroit. I don't think you can't lose a head-to-head to the Bears when the Bears are in first place currently right now with, hey, they got to play the Steelers next week with Aaron Rodgers, who probably has a fractured wrist and won't play, and they're going to get Mason Rudolph. Like, I think that you have to go at least 2-1. And if you are going to lose, it's Thanksgiving.
We may have seen Aaron Rodgers play for the final time yesterday. If he's got a broken wrist, I don't know that he comes back.
It's sad, man.
End of an era, potentially. We'll see what the stats say out of the tests today in Pittsburgh and whether or not Aaron Rodgers can continue his career. Leave it to that guy, though, to somehow rush back after, he'll go and do all the things and find the doctor that's going to give him the best chance to, be different, right? I'm different. We know. We'll see if you can fix your bones differently than you did your Achilles. More questions on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line, 414-677-1250, and the most electrifying sound of the day. That's next. We are inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's that kind of morning on Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wardson for Josh, in time today for the most electrifying sound of the day.
It's time for
The most electrifying,
sound of the day
the most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Boy, I wish Eric Collins was announcing this play, because that would be the only way it could get more electric. But Adam Amin, Drew Brees yesterday getting pretty excited after all those drops on the offense and all those drops on the defense. Evan Williams, call game.
Winston fires. Enzo off target. Picked off. It's Evan Williams with the interception. They have come close and close and close all day. And Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley's defense finally gets the takeaway they've been looking for.
Evan Williams, most electrifying call of the day. It was stressful watching that defense sometimes yesterday, but he gets the job done. Shout out Best Electric for the most electrifying sound of the day.
Towards the end of the game there, with that interception, that should have been it. Why didn't that feel like it was it?
Because you knew they had to get a first down that they weren't going to get running the football.
Sure couldn't. Here's the ball back.
Yeah, it was.
I believe there was, don't quote me on this, something like 32 seconds left in the game when Evan Williams caught that pass. Somehow, the Giants got the ball back with like 21 seconds. The blink, here you go, 3 and out, like the fastest 3 and out in the history of 3 and outs.
40 seconds when that interception happened.
And I believe they got the ball back with 21 seconds. So 19 seconds of an offensive series for the Packers, because the last play of the game started with 10 seconds left, and that's when Micah Parsons ultimately got the sack. Time ran out, and I looked at my son, and I was like, don't be surprised if the Packers somehow screw this up. I could not be the only person that felt that way.
No, I don't think you actually, you know what? I felt that way until Danny Whalen just decided to absolutely bomb that last punt in a much needed bomb that last punt, because I thought, wow, if this doesn't happen here, like if they're going to get the ball at midfield, whatever it is, like Danny Whalen hit that ball almost too good. The return was almost a little too much after it, but that return,
your coverage, is that where that comes from, right?
Yeah, I guess. And now, I mean, luckily didn't matter, but I thought that Danny Whalen had a phenomenal game yesterday. This is another thing, totally off topic. Oh, I wrote this in my notes though, watching the game. Only the Packers are getting a holding call on punt return when it was like a botched kick. Only the Packers are doing that. So I shout out Danny Whalen, Rich Bisaccia. You're not safe still.
Nope, still not safe. Chad from Sherwood to wrap up the I Have Questions portion of the show. He says, good morning. My question is, and this goes against what you were saying, how does Drew Brees have a job? He was terrible. Seemed like he was 100% against the Packers. Pause. Is that how we're judging whether the announcer is a good announcer or not, on whether they're the Packers cheerleader that we have an expectation that all of these announcers are? I didn't think he did a terrible job. And was that not the first time he was in the booth?
It was the first time he's ever in the booth. So I also thought he was fine. I mean, it goes back to this Joe Buck conversation we were having last week, right? Where he's just there in all the moments that scar Packers fans over the last 25 years. So that's why everyone can't stand Joe Buck, probably. I didn't think that Drew Brees was overly impressive, and I thought he had a couple of lines that were good, but I didn't find myself saying, hey, Drew, shut up, like during this at all.
Yeah.
I thought he was fine.
And make sure you check the football for the slipperies. Vaseline.
Yeah.
Make sure you check the football for Vaseline. That was the best line that Drew Brees had yesterday.
Did he bump Greg Olsen? Is that what happened? Because Greg Olsen was in the studio show
Yeah, he was in the studio for Terry Bradshaw, who was not able to make it in. So Olsen went to the studio. Drew Brees went to the booth. I don't know that it was in place of.
Is he usually
per
with
se.
Adam Amin?
Mm.
I can't remember
These are
now.
things I do not give the mental space for. It's kind of crowded up there most days, Tommy.
I kind of thought sometimes it was hollow, but all right.
Well, can you hear it rattling?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was the Drew Brees check for Vaseline running around in your head.
Yeah. The morning mind dump is next on Inside Wisconsin Sports. And some of you think that it sounds a lot like I have questions. It might. And today, especially, because there's a lot of things in the I have questions portion of the show that I got to get off my chest. Like, why can't we catch on either side of the ball? What was that? As if the Packers needed more things to worry about. Now we can't even guarantee we can catch a ball if it hits us in the hands or the chest. Oh, I was never real good at football. I played until the end of my sophomore season. Then I was 6'7". All of a sudden, don't hang up on me.
You grew
Tommy,
after
sorry.
you grew after that? You grew?
Yeah,
Really?
6'8". Yep.
Yeah.
I'm 6'8".
Okay.
Maybe 6'7" with my shoes off.
Oh
but
my God.
anyway, at the end of the day, I was not the guy that could catch every ball that you threw to me. I think these guys should be catching more balls that are thrown their way. Am I wrong? Like, at the end of the day, dude, they say that a reason a defensive back is because they're not good enough to be a receiver. Boy, did we prove that yesterday.
Carrington Valentine, way to live up to that.
Bad news. Our receivers showed us yesterday that they should be defensive backs. Good God.
Yeah. I mean, it'll all work itself out, right?
We can't catch a ball. We can't catch a break at kicker. We can't catch a break with our health. Why can't we stay healthy? Why can't we manage the game clock at the end of the first half? That was the most Matt LaFleur thing ever. And I knew it was coming. 2-minute drill, much? Can we practice that maybe? Something's wrong with that, our ability to be in that portion of the game and not have a clue on what to do. We'll also talk more about Malik Willis and the offensive line and the wide receivers rooms. There's so much more to get to and get off your chest. The morning mind dump is next, so get it in. 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. You are inside Wisconsin Sports with us, Trevor and Tommy, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Stay here. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Here's Winston. Loading up, gotta hurry, hit from behind. Ball is out. And this game is over. And Micah Parsons finally gets home. And he is now 9-0 in his career against the New York Giants.
We'll take it. A win's a win's a win. And it's required because the Packers scored 27 points. It's a given, I think. At least it has been this season. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Wart's in for Josh again this morning. Josh is back tomorrow from vacation. We miss him. He misses us. We look forward to checking with him about all things Florida and the Warped Tour. And, Wisconsin sports. We'll see how good of a job he did on staying up to date on all things Wisconsin sports. I would choose not to stay up to date whatsoever, Tommy. If I'm on vacation, bud, peace out.
Really? I feel like I'm probably too much sports. Like it's a personality trait of me. So it's my hobby. It's my interest. And it's turned into my career and my passion. So
J-O-B.
Yeah.
Someday when you have a family and all the things, you'll understand. Like you can pay attention, but you can't pay attention. Like not the way you and I do right now.
Challenge accepted.
All right, deal. Meaning get married and have kids?
No, that I'll just pay attention my whole life.
Okay, good. All right, let's do this. Time for the morning mind dump. Here we go.
Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the morning mind dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
There are some things worth celebrating from yesterday's game. That's not this segment. We're not celebrating here. We're pointing out the flaws and how do we fix them between now and when the season gets to the nitty-gritty here as we continue on. We're halfway through, right, Tommy?
Yeah.
It's a good spot to be, 6-3-1. Just under first place to those pesky Bears. Can't believe I'm saying that.
Gross.
There's some things to fix, though. The good, the bad, the ugly. We'll review that in the next segment. This is the morning mind dump. Get it off your chest. Get it out of your head. Do not carry it with you today. What are you thinking needs to change for the Green Bay Packers in order for them to truly have our trust? I heard the Sound VO girls say that. Did they regain their trust? I don't think so. At least a win helps, but I don't know how much we trust this team this morning. Yep. Specifically in the catching category of things. We can't catch again all of a sudden. Like literally across the board, offense and defense. We can't catch the ball on the kicker's foot the right way. The only thing we can catch and then tackle, hopefully, is off of a Daniel Whelan punt. Other than that, we don't have much to offer in that category, and that wasn't something that we talked about to start the year at all. That was a problem that I thought was in our past. Now, does that mean it's because of who's on the field? I've never fully trusted Romeo Doubs. Have you?
Not as like a legitimate weapon, but I trusted him as a safety blanket. You know, hey, we need 8 yards. Go get 8 yards, Romeo. But anything more than short to medium length, like anything more than that, no. Like catching more than 12, 13 yards maybe on a play, I don't. No, I do not trust him.
Christian Watson can catch. She looked great yesterday. But per the notes, we can't really count on much in the receiving room. And that seems to be something that needs to get cleaned up. So too is the offensive line. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And what is it with this kicking game? So, Tommy, where do you want to start? Offensive line, wide receiver room, or the kicking game?
Well, I want to at least give the context as to why these are the three topics that I want to address. And that is, I would like to start off with the morning mind dump by saying two things can be true. You can want to see a better performance out of the quarterback in Jordan Love. Yesterday, I thought he was fine. But you can want to have a high expectation. I respect people who want to say, yo, I don't really love Jordan Love. And I know a lot of people think that because of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre back to back. I get it. I've already made up in my mind, however, he's never going to be them. So I don't have that expectation for Jordan Love. But those three topics that we just came up with, the O-line, the wide receiver room, and the kicking game, they come to mind because no matter how you feel about Jordan Love, I don't think he is within the top three worries of this team. And I think you could probably expand it to 5. You know, if you want to go in with special teams in general, Rich Bisaccia or Matt LaFleur being those top 5 topics of discussion. So the reason why we have limited it down to 3, and I think we should start with the kicking game and work our way up maybe to the offensive line because it's the least amount of what we've talked about so far. I think that you can say Jordan Love's a problem, and I have no problem with that, but no way is he one of the biggest problems on this team.
Earlier last week, when Mitch Nellis, Thunder, was filling in for Josh, he was not convinced Jordan Love is the guy.
Maybe not.
I don't know where he stands today, and there's some people on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250, here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network from across the state of Wisconsin. On WNFL in Green Bay on 99.7, on 93 The Game, 93.9 The Game in Wausau, 710 The Game in Duluth Superior, 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan in Milwaukee. People are texting in all over the state, and their team Malik Willis. But is that because Malik came in and did good yet again, or is he showing us something in Jordan Love's game that's missing? I know he doesn't have the legs that Jordan Love has, or vice versa, I should say. I know Jordan Love doesn't have the legs that Malik Willis has, but he's got the throwing ability. He's got the defense reading ability. I mean, these aren't two comparable quarterbacks. To your point earlier, one's a starter in the NFL getting paid $1 gazillion, and the other one's Malik Willis. And yet some people are unsure if Jordan Love is the guy. Yesterday, he didn't show me at all that he wasn't the guy. Jordan Love was pesky yesterday. He was relentless on that go-ahead drive late in the game. There were some things that I think Jordan Love would say he wishes he could get back yesterday, but all in all, he played a great game. That's somebody that we can count on for the most part. The other 3 things that you listed, I don't know that we can. And the one that confuses me the most is the offensive line. There are dudes on that line that are fully capable of being the blockers that they need to be. There was one play that was glaring, and it looked like it was an offensive line problem. It was actually Emmanuel Wilson missed a block right up the middle. And you know the exact play I'm talking about. But what is it about the offensive line, Tommy, that scares you the most? Does it mean that Jordan Love is constantly on the run? That he's constantly getting flushed out of the pocket? Like, what is it that you're most afraid of? Is it Love throwing, or is that the reason why we haven't been able to establish a running game?
Well, I do believe it is the reason that this running game is not established. Josh Jacobs was the focal point of the offense last season for this Green Bay Packers team, and we just started off like the 6 o'clock hour saying, is it that big of a deal that he's gone right now? Because we don't have the faith in the run game at all. What we've seen so far out of Green Bay this season. Now, the biggest concern with me about this offensive line isn't necessarily even this season. It is a position that this team has invested heavily in. And I am worried about the evaluation of offensive linemen based on this season. This is a team that has paid Zach Tom a second contract. They have paid Elton Jenkins a second contract. They have paid Aaron Banks a second contract. They have used first-round picks when people questioned why they would use first-round picks on the same selection. They have used second-round picks in this last draft on Anthony Belton. They have invested so much into this offensive line, not to mention they made a trade for depth pieces on the offensive line this offseason for Darian Kennard. This is something that Green Bay has put a lot of time and effort into, and it is the biggest problem on this team. It is the one factor that I can point to and say right now, I do not believe the Green Bay Packers are a Super Bowl contending team. That doesn't mean I don't think they can't win some games. Doesn't mean I don't think they can't win a game or two in the playoffs, but winning the Super Bowl, you need a much better offensive line than what the Green Bay Packers have right now. And you've brought it up on multiple things. It affects the run game. It affects the ability for Jordan Love to be able to throw the football. The play action pass, in which Jordan Love was fantastic through the first 4 weeks of the season, is completely gone now. I won't say completely, but it is affected right now. This offensive line is a problem, Trevor.
Sean Ryan came in last week for Elton Jenkins and played really well. We're like, whoa. I think the Elton Jenkins center experiment is over. I mean, granted, it's over now because he broke his leg, but he looked really good. Yesterday, not so much. Could not get the snaps down. A fumble or two by Jordan Love under center, then a shotgun snap almost over his head. Our oldest son plays center. My brother played the offensive line. I spend a lot of time in life watching the offensive line. They're not playing as a unit. That, to me, is a coaching issue, and I don't understand why. But those dudes have to play as a unit. And a lot of the pre-snap penalties that we've seen bog us down didn't necessarily show up yesterday. There was not, was there any false start penalties yesterday in the Packers?
Not to my recollection, no.
Me neither. So awesome, fixed it. Now let's block or start playing as a unit. That's what it feels like the offensive line is struggling with. If I can just tap into the years of watching the offensive line, it just looks like they're not playing as a unit, meaning they don't know who's got what block. They're not doing a good job of reading the defense. Sean Ryan yesterday got tossed around a lot. So they did not look good altogether, but I didn't think there was one or two particular offensive linemen that really had a bad day. Again, Sean Ryan, outside of the snap problems that he had. That's certainly why we can't establish the run the way we need to. And it's what causes Jordan Love to have to throw the football on the run. Now, here's the problem. He's fairly decent at that. Receivers, not so decent on the receiving end. Somebody just texted in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Brick hands. How many times are we going to drop the ball? But not only on offense yesterday, which brings up another point that we wanted to cover in the morning mind dump. Whether it's the dropped interceptions yesterday by the defense or seemingly allowing the Giants to just literally run down the field and take a 7-0 lead. You had the question / comment, Tommy. Is the Packers defense overrated?
I think specifically where I want to point to is the front four. I think the two best players on the whole team, at least having maybe the two most exciting seasons or impactful seasons, in my opinion. You can look at the two linebackers. I think Quay Walker looks like a madman right now, and I love what Edgerrin Cooper brings to this defense, and their athleticism is unmatched at the linebacker position. We might have the two most athletic linebackers in the NFL on the Green Bay Packers right now at the same time, and I think it shows on Sundays. But the rest of that defense, man, Micah Parsons is good. Rashawn Gary, where you been, dude? Carrington Valentine, you want to catch one of those footballs yesterday? Just one, maybe. Evan Williams ends up making the great play, and he had a couple of nice tackles coming down from the safety position. But I don't know, man. Like, we saw this defense the first 2 weeks of the season, and the first thought was, who's going to beat us? Who's going to beat Green Bay? This defense now? You got Jordan Love in year 3. You got Josh Jacobs coming back. Hell, this team's going to get Christian Watson in the middle of the season. Who's going to beat us? This defense is unreal. And yesterday, man, the Giants defense, they also are not very good. And the big thing this week, we had multiple fantasy guys on last week. All the NFL guys were talking about it on the 4-letter network, that this is the game to feast on the run for Green Bay. Meanwhile, they got outrushed by the Giants because they can get 10 yards on a QB sneak. Like,
yeah,
Jason,
let's talk about that.
Oh,
what?
Man.
Hold on. We can't just say that and not. Well, what? That was a 10-yard non-tush push QB sneak. That's embarrassing.
It's soft. I mean, that's the only word.
Nobody lined up over the center on that play. Why?
I don't call it defense.
Well, apparently neither does the defensive coordinator. Hafley was being praised up until that game yesterday. Very concerned that he would become the next Giants head coach. Maybe so. But our defense did not seem like they had it very put together yesterday. And especially when it came down to the run. That QB sneak was so bad.
It was dumb.
Keyshawn Nixon had a decent game, not a great game. Is it me, or is he the cockiest average defensive back in the league?
Well, I mean, he learned from the cockiest average defensive back in the league.
Ja.
Yeah. I mean, let's just call it how it is. Like, he was great for a couple of years, and he was awesome to be a part of that locker room, but like, his availability ultimately hurt his ability when he was on the field. And now Keyshawn Nixon, we saw it a little bit last year, but I will say this, Trevor, you need to have that mindset to play that position.
Oh, understood. But there's some of those things where we can't help but be on the couch and go, bro, you just gave up 3 plays in a row, but man, you should be so proud that you just broke that one up.
Yeah, here's another Tommy screams at cloud, old man. I personally, I think the NFL is just like maybe a little too much celebrating. I'm all down for organized touchdown dances and everything. That doesn't bother me. But when you're down 14 and you're hype about a tackle for loss or pointing for a first down or an incompletion, like that's when I'm like, okay, man, that is just play the game. Play the game, be in the position to be a little cocky, and then do that talking. I hate when they do it when they're down.
Careful. You can't celebrate much in the NFL right now. The flags are abound for any type of celebration that the NFL seems like is excessive, which seems to be getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah, it's only 2 pumps instead of 3 pumps now, man.
No pumping.
No pumps.
No pumps. Leave the pumps. The good, the bad, the ugly. We want to review this ad nauseum in detail when we come back. It is a Green and Gold Monday on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We have proof because we have 2 Green Bay Packers on our team here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. You don't want to miss it. 9 to noon with former Packers fullback John Kuhn, followed by the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon from noon to 2. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You are inside Wisconsin sports. The good, the bad, the ugly. Next, stay here. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back. We are inside Wisconsin sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Wart's in for Josh this morning, statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. All right, let's get into this thing a little bit deeper. Packers, Giants yesterday. We shall review now the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. First, Tommy, let's start with the good. Jordan Love. Jordan Love was good yesterday. Here, Savion Williams, a huge catch late in the game.
Another 3rd and long for Green Bay. 5th body coming for the Giants' pressure. Love with time, waving receivers around. Off the back foot, he launches it downfield, and it's caught by Savion Williams. The rookie comes up huge on 3rd and long.
That was the best Brett Favre impersonation Jordan Love can possibly have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, surely they gave Savion Williams more than just that target after that, right, Trevor?
No.
Oh, sorry. That was my fault. My fault. He makes a great play, and maybe that's why the defense wasn't expecting it, because they just refused to get the guys involved. Okay, sorry. This is the good.
Yeah, this is the good.
This is the good.
Come on.
Sorry.
Hey, Josh, stick with me on the optimistic, positive side, would you please?
Shout out Savion Williams and Jordan Love.
Thank you. That was a hell of a throw.
It was a great throw.
And it scared the living you-know-what out of all of us.
It was like that throw, was it last year? 2 years ago. I think it was last year in the Rams game when he finds Jaden Reed. There's 3 guys right near the end zone there, and somehow he just floats it up. And it just so happens to fall perfectly into Jaden Reed's hands as opposed to any of the 3 other Los Angeles Rams who could have made the play. And yesterday, again, Jordan Love gets so much underneath every deep ball. I mean, no one throws the ball higher than Jordan Love, it feels like. I don't know about further, but higher, it always just falls.
It's definitely a jump ball, like we're playing 500. All right, 400! And then he throws it. That play in particular was huge.
Huge.
In that he should not have made the play. Did you see Jordan waving his hands like, come back, move this way, go that way, come back? It was like straight off of the parking lot football that I played at St. John's and Jefferson. Now, granted, I was picked last, so I wasn't involved in many of those plays growing up, but that's what it was like. Quarterback scrambling, moving guys around with his hand. And then somehow an unbelievable catch by Savion Williams. Jordan Love was really good yesterday. You know who else was really good? We can talk about the dropsies. We'll get to that. But there's one dude that caught the ball really well, Christian Watson.
3rd down again. Willis holds on. Willis rolls and throws, and it's snatched for the touchdown by Watson. First of the season for Watson, back from the knee injury and back in the end zone for the Pack.
Maybe this is the dad in me, but watching him do this little shimmy dance with his knees bending in different ways, I'm like, how about we don't? How about we just, you know what, high five and then get off the field?
No,
what are we doing?
No Chauncey Billup references or stanky legs. All right,
no stanky legs when you're coming off an ACL.
Give it a month. Give it a month before we do any of those. But yes, Christian Watson. And while he had a couple of these, I'm sure we'll play later. But that one, I mean, that ball. He caught it, and the hand was on it. He had to fight for it, make sure it was there the entire time. Those were hands on that play, even though it was only a 3-yard pass. Like, with how bad the dropsies, as you're calling them, were yesterday for Green Bay, easily could have been another one right there.
We don't win that game without Malik Willis. That's who chucked that ball. And here's proof.
No, that was huge. We don't win that game without Malik, and I can't say enough great things about Malik Willis. He's a great competitor. He's so calm. I mean, just he was in there in some critical situations. We had some 3rd downs. We called the zone read, and he uses his legs, which it was kind of when your starting quarterback is out, and then you have your backup in there, and you call a zone read, you're a little bit concerned about that in that moment, just because you can't have anything happen to him. So, but he made a lot of plays in the game, and obviously, we don't win that game without him.
We don't win that game without him, which I know how much you love, Tommy.
No,
But
it's a true statement.
Malik Willis played really, really well yesterday. He was good too.
Yeah, he executed when he was told to go execute. And I mean,
Well, don't take that for granted, though, buddy. Like,
look, I
being
get
told to execute and actually executing is not something the Green Bay Packers can exactly fill out a full resume on this year.
Sure, but I have already filled that resume out for Malik Willis in his backup duty roles. I've already filled that out for him. I have faith. It is like having Brandon Aubrey as a kicker. It's like, oh, we're on the other side of the 50. Like, we got 3 points. Great. Like, Malik Willis has to go into the game. Oh, offense, not going to miss a beat. That's how I feel about him out there. And I think that is a great luxury to have at the backup quarterback position. And if it were my call, I would absolutely make Malik Willis the highest paid, rather Kirk Cousins, second highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL. I would absolutely do it. That we were looking at the deals, and I think the average, like I think the next highest was like $5-6 million. You want to pay Malik Willis $8 million a year for the next 3 years to just be the backup, really never play, but you always have that safety security blanket of he is the backup quarterback? No issue at all. Is that too much money for a backup in your mind? Okay, cool. Then he can walk. Like that's how I feel about it.
Don't answer this question now, but I want you to think about it. What would you need to get in return to trade Malik Willis?
Okay.
Because all of that good feeling that we have right now is not something we normally can feel about a backup quarterback. So what's that worth to us? The good yesterday, Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Malik Willis. The bad, holy drops, and more drops. Here's the rendition we put together.
Oh, sorry. I had the LaFleur sound up for it here, but yes, yesterday was horrendous with the drop issue, and we made a little ditty for it.
Yeah.
Steps, throws, and it's dropped. Romeo Doubs for a team that has really cut down on their drops this season. Love trying to find something downfield, and Doubs with his second drop. Just out of the reach, and it may go down as another drop.
Yeah, I'll put that in the drop category. Check the ball for Vaseline. I don't know what's going on here.
After reviewing the play, the receiver never completed the process of the catch.
It's an incomplete pass. That's the fifth Packer drop officially. This one actually helps them out, believe it or not.
This is a great throw by Jordan Love. Really a play that you'd like to see Christian Watson come down with. A lot of times he does, but the Giants get a little bit lucky here.
That was only on offense. All of those drops were just our offensive receivers. Matt LaFleur, what is going on?
Yeah, it's a problem. It's not good. And I don't know who you blame for that, right? Do you blame coaching? Do you blame personnel? Do you blame Matt LaFleur? Like where are you going to go? You can only look at the guys who are dropping the football. Like that feels fair. There was many throws yesterday where Jordan Love made the throw and the receivers let him down. You want to say, hey, the Zontavian Wicks one is a tough play. Okay. You want to say the Luke Musgrave one, it probably should have been a fumble. Okay. But man, the two to Romeo Doubs, terrible. Yeah. Bad drops. While it's a tough play for that Christian Watson one, got to come up with those. You want to get an extension past your 1 year after this next year? You want to be a number one wide receiver? You want to be the guy that they invested the 36th or whatever overall pick on you? That is a ball you have to come down with. And he did not. He had a great game, but he did not come up with a very big throw in that game.
Matt LaFleur talked about these drops in the post-game press conference. He was asked directly about these drops. What say you, Coach? What do we do?
Matt LaFleur on the drop issues yesterday.
What was going through your mind with all the drops, not just on offense, but arguably probably four on defense?
What are you talking about, Pete? Yeah, I mean, I thought there was plenty of opportunities in the game to kind of like build a little bit of a lead, and we didn't make plays. We didn't make those plays, unfortunately.
You know what's the most frustrating part about that one, Trevor? That question was 4 minutes into the post-game press conference.
Why does that bother you?
Because there was 3 questions about Malik freaking Willis before that. It's just not. This is why there is a problem or a group following of Malik Willis stands. I love Malik Willis. I do. He is not more important than the drop issue yesterday.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know, man.
No.
I think I could easily argue that Malik Willis was a better thing to celebrate than the drops were a worse thing to put down or whatever to point out. If Malik Willis does not do on that drive what he does, that's a 14-point flip. Let's say we completely stall out, don't score, give the Giants the ball back, and now they go and do what they did again. That sequence with Malik Willis was the story of the game, as was the drops. I'm totally cool with celebrating the positive first.
Sure. And I have nothing but flowers to give for Malik Willis. And you want to ask a question at the beginning about Malik Willis because he is ultimately mathematically a difference in the football game? Absolutely. Did Malik Willis play any football after his one drive? No? Oh, did Jordan Love finish the game and play at a great level as well during the game? Yes? Yeah. So one question, how big was it for Malik to come in and step in? What does that mean for this club? Answer, move on. Don't need any more Malik Willis talk. He is not a part of the plan that is this season. You want to talk about maybe there's a bad injury and then Malik Willis has to play and he leads and he does a great thing. Sure, then have the conversation about future plan. He is not a part of this season's plan. He is not. And I love Malik Willis. And people are turning me against Malik Willis. They're making it sound like I am turned against Malik Willis because they would rather hear goody two-shoes. Oh, Malik Willis looks so good in this offense when Jordan Love isn't looked perfect. Jordan Love's never went 2 for 2 in a ball game. I've never seen Jordan Love have 6 passing yards. I've never seen Jordan Love run for 16 yards on his own read. No, I don't care. He's not a part of the plan. It is off script when it's Malik Willis. Stop asking about him.
Do you have an Apple Watch?
No.
This is usually when Josh looks down at his Apple Watch and goes, my heart is racing.
I assume mine is like that 24/7. So I would rather save the humility and not get one. But seriously, 4 minutes into this press conference, and it's like, now we're going to talk about the drops because you wanted to just say how great Malik Willis is. Sparky, mark my words, Sparky will do a topic today on Wisconsin Sports Daily that is like, do you want to see more Malik Willis in this offense? And I'm going to call in, and if I could sweet chin music someone through a phone, I will do that. Well, it's true. It is. And again, I love Malik Willis. I'm not hating on Malik Willis.
I'm not convinced. I feel like if Malik Willis was in this room right now, you'd go, dude, sit down. We're done with you. No talk. Leave his mic off. We don't want to talk about you. I want to talk about the drops.
Yes. Yeah, I would actually, that's what I would do. I'd be like, yo, what's up, Malik? Good game. What's up with your receivers sucking? That's what I would start with. Right there. That'd be the first question I ask him. It wouldn't be like, good job at this game. What were you thinking about there? I would have been like, were you thinking, damn, I don't know if I trust my wide receivers for me to play so good. That's what I would love. I would love to know his take.
What's up with the 2-minute drill at the end of the first half? While that was setting up, I literally went to Twitter and went, here we go. Here's another Matt LaFleur time clock management test to get out of the first half. Just over a minute left. We get the ball back. We're in a 2-minute drill, and we do what? We call a timeout? Again, we wasted timeout. Now, in LaFleur's defense this week, this was the very next play out of the timeout.
Love on a high snap. Floats it. Watson up top. It is caught. Touchdown Packers. Green Bay's got the lead.
I still have questions about a 2-minute drill. I don't understand. I don't know why we burn timeouts the way we do, specifically in those circumstances. It seems like it's either a play call problem or an alignment problem. Didn't you say, Tommy, that you saw the camera pan to Matt LaFleur and he was like, just call the play, Matt.
Yeah.
But he was being down on himself.
Yeah, he either said Matt or man. So maybe he was either mad at himself or Jordan for it. And yeah, rightfully so. This is something that I have voiced concerns with for Matt LaFleur already. It is now 7 years as a head coach in the National Football League. I can't believe that head coaches don't go jump on Madden in the offseason and just practice clock management at minimum with it. It's that easy. I don't need you to tell me that that's where you get your playbook or that's how you evaluate players, but you could learn a thing or two about, hey, if I do something quick here, call timeout. Hey, if I run a little turbo right here, what can I call next? That would it 100% could be used as a tool to help out people like Matt LaFleur who don't know how to count.
You imagine? Hey guys, I really so I played a lot of Madden this offseason, and wow, do I have my clock management down.
There is an age. There is some age, whether that is 35, 45, 55, 65, it stops right there. Like 35 and younger would be like, all right, I'm down. What's up, Matt? What'd you learn? And then everyone older than that, they'd be like, are you kidding me? That's what you did? But there is an age. Maybe it's younger. Maybe it's like 28. There would be, I'm cool with it. I have no problem if Matt LaFleur wants to come out and say, hey, I didn't take a full playbook out of Woody Johnson of seeing who I should trade for with Madden, but I will say that, yeah, I think my clock management, feeling a little better about it.
The good, Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Malik Willis. The bad, drops, and more drops, and time management once again. We will get to the ugly portions of the game, and there are some to talk about when we come back. We are inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back. We are inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Wart's in for Josh this morning. Statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A green and gold Monday here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We are reviewing the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's a lot to celebrate out of yesterday's game. We've been doing so quite a bit this morning, which is a nice change of pace for a Monday morning on Inside Wisconsin Sports. A win is a win is a win, as unconvincing as it might be.
Yeah.
And the way that might feel, but we got to win. We weren't sure last week, Tommy, if we were going to get out of New York with a win. We did.
We did.
And
yeah, go ahead.
There are opportunities is all.
Yeah. I just want to address like one of the texts that said, Tommy and Josh would do great numbers on a Debbie Downers part of Packers Talk Sports. Like, yeah, I look, because I'm complaining doesn't make me less of a fan. I love the Green Bay Packers. I'm probably way too invested on the Green Bay Packers to be on the radio. I get that. I don't want to be bad and mean to the Packers. I don't. I want them to be perfect. That's why I sound like a Debbie Downer, but I am so happy, and my Sunday was better because the Green Bay Packers won a football game. That's a fact.
My alarm went off at 4 a.m. and I was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Last week, not so much.
Right.
No, different this morning. But let's review one thing that was flat out ugly yesterday, and it's once again the kicking game.
And now Lucas Haversick playing in his third game for the injured Brandon McManus. Misses a kick for the first time this year. Haversick, whoa, my goodness. If that's not wind pushed, I'm not sure what's happening in the shoes of these kickers, but this swirling wind is playing havoc on the kicks.
So there's something wrong with the shoes, the wind, and apparently the ball was covered in Vaseline. Any other questions about yesterday's game?
No. I think we covered it all.
We got it
there.
all.
It's maybe the fact that Haversick isn't as good of a kicker as Brandon McManus didn't pop
We
up.
all wanted this.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
You didn't want this?
No.
You are full of it.
Dude, they just paid McManus.
You're telling me over the last few weeks, with the injury that McManus had, you weren't one of the guys on this very radio station. Don't make me go and search for audio. I'm not doing
Brandon McManus to play when he's healthy. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
So,
I do.
Then I think I can confidently say that the majority of us wanted Haversick to kick because we didn't believe McManus was healthy.
No, I think a majority of people were like ready to give up on Brandon McManus and just throw him away. And that because Haversick kicked a 61-yarder, which was awesome, and he was good for his couple of games. And they were like, this kid's better. He's not better. He came up clutch. He did his job. We're going to get into a Malik Willis, Lucas Haversick rant all over again. You doing your job, like leading by example, is just doing your job. Like that's something that everyone is expected to do. That's why I hate the term lead by example. Why? That's expectation. Lucas Haversick maybe exceeded expectations with a 61-yarder, but wow, he sure fell flat on his face yesterday.
We got to kick no matter the wind, right, Matt LaFleur? I mean, that's what he was asked. What's it all about, Matt? It was super windy. Isn't that the problem? Here's what he had to say.
In the kicking game for the extra points, was either of those misses because of the wind?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a kicker, but it's certainly.
Talk to him,
I think it was impactful, but the bottom line is, and we experience this quite often on our practice facility where it is windy, and you ultimately got to find a way.
Does he hate kickers? Like, I'm not a kicker. Well, I don't talk to kickers.
Does he think they're less of football players?
It sounds that way,
right?
Doesn't
Right,
it?
just a little bit.
Got to find a way.
Yeah.
3 words. Laces out, Dan. Literally, Daniel Whelan had the laces not sideways, not quartered of the way. On that second miss, the laces were absolutely straight at his foot. That's hard to do. Like, spin the ball, bro. What are we doing? I don't think that does that have a huge effect on it. Am I wrong? Does it?
I'm sure. Like
Hey, me
Mason
and Matt,
Crosby,
not a kicker.
Yeah,
I want to. That's a good question for Crosby.
I'm pretty sure.
Later, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's addressed it. Like, if you bring the laces out, like no one's mad at the kicker in that process.
The Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. This is a good way to end the good, the bad, and the ugly from yesterday's game. The 414 says, find a way. Come on, coach. Look in the mirror. You know what? At the end of the first half, you got to find a way. Towards the end of the fourth quarter there, where we had to call a timeout, you got to find a way. There's a lot of room for opportunity with this Packers, and maybe that's why this feels the way it does. I feel like if we were in a position as Packers fans right now, and we didn't see all of the opportunity, we'd be in a completely different place. But there's so much opportunity. Look how many drops yesterday.
Yes.
Both offense and defense. Missed kicks. Injuries, which we'll talk about next. There's a lot of opportunity for this Green Bay Packers team, and it just doesn't seem like they're capitalizing. But boy, if we do, maybe then we can actually be happy and convinced that this Packers team can do the things that we all hoped and believed they could. We're off and running on a fantastic Monday morning here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It feels good to talk about a W, again, as unconvincing as it may be. When we come back, let's talk about some injuries and how is that going to impact us. Stay here inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't God that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Here's Winston. Loading up, gotta hurry, hit from behind. Ball is out. And this game is over. And Micah Parsons finally gets home. And he is now 9-0 in his career against the New York Giants.
What's up, Wisconsin? What a way to end the game yesterday. The audio, courtesy of Fox Sports. Micah Parsons, a sack to end the game. They reviewed it. No time left. Thank you for coming. Have a great trip home. Inside Wisconsin Sports is on your radio. Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wart's in for Josh this morning, and all of you across the state of Wisconsin on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. I love the feel of a victory Monday instead of the way it's felt the last few weeks. Are there opportunities? Yeah. Yep. Got it. We know about it. Couple drops, couple a lot of drops. Okay, we won't ignore that. A lot of drops. Certainly some things that we can clean up on defense as well. But boy, can we not stay healthy.
Yeah.
How do we get out of these games a little more alive, per se? So let's review yesterday and how bad these injuries could have been. And let's start with the big two. Jordan Love, listen, I love your athleticism, buddy. Love it. You're a tough as nails QB. You can take the hit until you can't. What I thought was interesting was a few plays prior, Jordan Love went up the middle, Tommy, slid, but then kind of got grazed by one of the defenders who couldn't pull up in time. And he kind of freaked out like, well, I slid. They hit me. What's going on? I should be able to do this and not take a hit. I wondered if that was in his head when just a little while later in the game, he goes to take this hit and gets smoked in the left shoulder. And I don't know about you, but I instantly thought he had a concussion. There's a few reasons. Number one, he grabbed for his head right away. When he got, like, he did one of these with his hands. If you want to watch this live on YouTube or Twitter, you can see what I'm talking about. And then the ref made him leave the field, which definitely tells you something happened with his head. At least that's what we've all understood, right? Then Jordan Love runs into the blue tent, not with Dr. Mike Ryan, but Jeremy Metzler, one of the doctors here in the Green Bay area. That's the associate team physician for the Green Bay Packers, and also a lead guy for concussion treatment and protocol. That's what he's known for. Amongst other things, he's a fantastic doctor. Don't get me wrong. But the dude knows concussions. My son had a concussion this season. And when I was talking to Dr. Ryan about it, he goes, hey, let me know if you want him to go and see Dr. Metzler. The guy knows concussions. So when those three things happened, I was completely convinced Jordan Love got his bell rung.
Looked like he got up a little slow too, kind of thing too. Not necessarily like a grimace, but like a, whoa. Bell rung type slow. So I also had that thought, but the shoulder being the issue and able to figure it out.
Tent, comes out of the tent and then runs to the locker room.
Right.
And who followed him into the locker room? Dr. Mike Ryan. And I'm going, oh, okay. This isn't a head thing anymore. Something's wrong with the part of the body. We called in the big gun. He ran to the back. I don't know what they did, but it came out. He was taped up. Did you notice that? There was some black tape on his shoulder.
A little K tape.
Maybe he got a pain reliever. Don't know. There was a lot of that chatter on Twitter of Aaron Rodgers 2.0 when he came out and just was glassy-eyed as all get out when he hurt his calf. Was that against the Bears?
Yep, week 1. Yep.
Yikes.
First game of Khalil Mack.
Cloud 9.
Yeah. Hey, Perk Rodgers was peak Rodgers, maybe.
Yeah,
that's just one letter away, too. Nicolay Law, talking text line 414-677-1250. Rick in Waukesha. Rick, you're on Inside Wisconsin Sports. How we doing today? Rick. Well, he was here at least.
Gone.
He's gone. Anyway, he was on. Yeah, I think that the Jordan Love injury is now something of conversation. Where is this going to be an injury that goes past 1 week? Is this something that now we have to always worry about this shoulder? Is it going to be something that broadcasters are bringing up in pregame coverage, in-game coverage, where, oh, is that a throw he would make maybe if he had a healthy shoulder? Yeah, I don't know. That's where my brain goes.
Yeah, here we go for sure. That's one. And now what's the other one? Josh Jacobs. So Jacobs left in the first half against the Giants yesterday with what appeared to be a left knee injury, and he was ruled out the rest of the game by halftime. LaFleur said in the postgame that he is not expected to be season-ending, Jacobs, but he did call it rather significant. He used his very cliche, anytime somebody goes out of a game, that's a big deal. I believe we have that. Do we not, Tommy?
I think anytime a player doesn't, especially of his magnitude, but anytime a player doesn't finish a game, you're always concerned about the welfare of them.
God, he's such a coach. He is just such a coach, man. That's so coach speak right there.
Matt Schneidman from The Athletic wrote in his article on The Athletic yesterday that Emmanuel Wilson said that Josh is good. Emmanuel Wilson said, quote, "I'll talk to him later on the plane and see how he's feeling, but I know he's good." That too was the assessment, at least on the field. It wasn't a season-ending piece. The initial x-rays and field tests showed that the knee is stable and intact and that he avoided a major season-ending injury. But today, they'll still need to do the testing and all the things to rule out that he is day-to-day, week-to-week, whatever the case may be, and that it's not something more significant. The Packers landed with plenty of time to get things done today. I live here in Northeast Wisconsin. I'm at WNFL. Tommy is there in Milwaukee at WSSP. The two other stations on the network in Wausau and Duluth Superior, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. When the wind is right, I am on the takeoff and or landing section of Austin Straubel Airport here. And so yesterday, chilling on the couch towards the end of the night, doing some show prep, kind of taking the notes and doing all the things, getting ready for you and I to chat. And you hear the plane go over. That anybody in my neighborhood that's listening knows that I'm a dork when it comes to the planes.
Oh.
Like I downloaded this app that shows you what the plane is, who is it being flown by, where it came from, how long I love it. But I forced myself into that because I live in a space that the planes are constantly overhead. So to nerd out for a moment, I knew when I heard the plane landing that it was a larger than the average Bear plane coming into Green Bay. Sure enough, it was the first of two planes that the Packers take to every game. They landed at 7:18 and 7:39, respectively, meaning they had all sorts of time to celebrate last night. And maybe that's my favorite part about post-game Matt LaFleur in the locker room. If you saw the audio, he said, "Now let's get back to work tomorrow." There's no victory Monday at Lambeau Field today. The boys are in to do the work that they do on a Monday. They'll take off Tuesday, and it is full bore prepare for the Vikings. But today they'll do all the testing that they need to do on Josh Jacobs to make sure that there isn't something inside that knee that they're missing. So we got out of Dodge with our quarterback and our running back perceivably both not dealing with any type of major injury, which anytime either of those guys, let alone both, I feel like they were both in the locker room at the same time. And I was like, this is why we can't have nice things. Did it not feel that way?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. And they might have been very briefly overlapping. But I think we kind of knew, maybe we might have thought vice versa. It was going to be Josh Jacobs coming back and Jordan Love. I don't know. I never felt that they were both going to be out the entire game. I kind of figured someone's going to come back just a little banged up. And we've already started the show basically saying this Josh Jacobs absence, like, does it stink? Yeah. Does it stink for all the same reasons it would have stunk last year? No, I don't think so. Let's try it one more time here. Rick and Waukesha, Nicolay Law, talking text line 414-677-1250. You got us now, Rick?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, what's going on, Rick? What do you got?
Good morning, guys. I just like to talk a little bit about the offensive line. Why is our offensive line always playing backwards? They're always playing backwards. They never can anchor, and that's why Jordan Love got hurt, because they can't. Their offensive line stinks. We spent all this money on Aaron Banks and Grenard, and they didn't do anything to anchor the line. They're terrible. Our offensive line is terrible. That's the reason why we can't win, is our offensive line. It's terrible. Yeah. And I thought that putting 4 guys on defense was supposed to stop the run. What happened to that? I mean, we're getting ran on like, come on, we're just going up and down the field, scoring.
Rick, thanks for the buzz. We appreciate it. Yeah, we were on that same token earlier with the offensive line. I just don't think they're playing like a unit right now. They're playing very individualistically. Is that a word? Spell it. Nobody knows. And when one fails, they all fail. They're not picking up each other's blocks. It doesn't seem like the assignments are being picked up the way they should be. Is that why Jordan Love got hurt? Was he scrambling because the offensive line broke down?
You could argue that his scramble led to a breakdown in the pocket, but I mean, ultimately the guy who places the hit on Jordan Love was not an offensive lineman responsibility. You know, that's a guy who makes a play after Jordan Love decides to make a play. So I don't think that you can chalk it up directly to that's the reason why Jordan Love got hurt. Could you chalk it up to that's the reason why Josh Jacobs gets hurt? Maybe. I mean, Rick is absolutely right. And I think that most phone calls today on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network on the Nicolay Law talk and text line should be, I am so frustrated with this offensive line play.
Well, we can't stay healthy there either.
Yeah.
Zach Tom goes out with another injury yesterday. Is it the same thing he'd been dealing with? Did he go out with an oblique? I didn't see the cause of his injury.
No, I didn't see it either right now. I would assume that he's just, he's been hurt for a long time. I mean, since that oblique injury, it feels like he's going out playing hurt every day. And I know a lot of these guys are, but I don't like to see that Zach Tom can't operate at 100% because they paid Zach Tom to play at 100% this year, and it hasn't happened.
Dobbs, Golden, they both got semi-injured yesterday. Every single time Romeo Dobbs catches the ball and goes of any distance, 2 yards, 1 yard, catch and drop, he smokes his head on the turf.
Yes, I was just going to write it down to see if I said that. His face is on the grass every time.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And he wears that helmet, that, what's it called?
Guardian cap.
Thank you. He wears the Guardian cap every time he plays, which, by the way, super smart. Very, very smart decision. Now, can he see out of his face mask because of the Guardian cap to maybe catch more balls? Jury's out. Don't know.
Does it look stupid or is it kind of drippy on some people?
It totally looks stupid.
Okay, just wondering where we were at with that.
Yeah, I don't care if that's what he needs to stay healthy and protect his mentals, right? Chickens and mentals. Do what you got to do, man. I don't care how stupid it looks, but just catch the ball. But when he catches the ball and goes down, his head hits the turf with his face every single time. And so is that what he was dealing with yesterday? Was a little scrambled eggs, or did he have something else go on? He had something with his chest. Matthew Golden, he's in for a hot second, and then he goes out. Must have been the same shoulder thing. Brandon McManus can't figure out how to get a quad right, which is so karma, by the way. When he comes out and says, nah, this will be fine. I've kicked through this in the past. Well, bud, that was 6 weeks ago. Now what? We have Haversick kicking, and we all saw how that went yesterday.
Great.
It really seems like we're struggling in the health department this year. We are not as healthy as I would hoped we would be at this point in the season. Quay Walker yesterday went down with something. These aren't names that like who? Like these are the dudes.
Yeah, and Jordan Love, he's operating with no Tucker Kraft. He's operating with no Jaden Reed during this process. The offensive line has been banged up, and no Elton Jenkins, which, again, as far as production, I don't know how much they really need him out there, but a leader in that clubhouse for sure as well.
A leader in our clubhouse, our guy Andy Herman. We chat with him every Monday and every Friday from the Pack-A-Day podcast, and I can't wait to hear what his thoughts are from yesterday's game because it's a dub and unconvincing. That's the way it feels this morning. So celebrate the win, and can we just put a whole game together? Maybe just once. We'll talk to him next. Stay here. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh, Tommy Wirtz in for Josh, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Every Monday and every Friday, and sometimes on Tuesday and maybe on a weird Friday, Thursday night thing. Let's just bring him in. Andy Herman. At Andy Herman NFL on Twitter, the Pack-A-Day podcast, and a victory Monday that doesn't feel like it, even though it should, but it feels unconvincing. So, Andy, is this just how it's going to be? Like, we can't ever be super duper happy with how things went because we did win last I checked.
Well, we talked about it last week. First of all, thanks for having me. We talked about it last week. You know, in order for fans to be happy in this one, it was going to take about like a 17, 20-point victory for happiness, for true happiness. A win's a win, especially with the way that Green Bay came off 2 consecutive losses. So they needed this one. It felt like a struggling shooter that just needed to see a layup or a free throw go through the hoop to hopefully, get them going moving forward. This felt like that. It's like, hey, it's a free throw. We're not going to celebrate the free throw too much. You didn't, 360 windmill over Giannis. We're not, doing something crazy here, but we'll take the made free throw at this point in time. But yeah, I did not deem today helmet worthy. In fact, I had it, but I actually dropped it on the way over, which I felt like was appropriate for the way that the Packers. No, I'll take the win. I'll put it that way.
So it's a win, and yet you brought it up. There's a lot of opportunities, and it starts and ends with these drops, although one could argue it was because of the offensive line and Jordan was rushed and maybe they weren't running the routes. Like, there's a lot of opportunity in yesterday's game, but the one that was most clear to any Tom, Dick, and Harry watching the game was the dropsies.
Yeah, so I went through and I listed the errors / mistakes for Green Bay throughout the course of the game. All right. Do you guys have a good 45 minutes?
We're good.
Yeah, we got all the time you need.
Carrington Valentine dropped interception. Luke Musgrave fumble out of bounds. Romeo Doubs drop on 3rd down. Carrington Valentine dropped interception. Fitzpatrick drop. Rasheed Walker holding penalty. Missed extra point. Holding penalty on a punt return. Romeo Doubs dropped. Dontavian Wicks drop. Edgerrin Cooper missed tackle on 3rd and 15 that led to a 1st down. Somehow Jameis Winston stumbles a quarterback sneak for 10 yards. Isaiah McDuffie pass interference penalty. Bad snap that leads to Jordan Love throwing awkwardly to Luke Musgrave, who then drops / fumbles, but thankfully only drops the pass. Missed extra point. Watson drop on 3rd down. Isaiah McDuffie truck sticks Javon Bullard into a dropped interception. Keyshawn Nixon dropped interception, or maybe tipped away at the very end by Xavier McKinney. Either way, opportunity for a pick that went unpicked off. Face mask by Colby Wooden. Romeo Doubs drop. Josh Wiley holding penalty, and then a kick into the end zone at the end of the game that brought the ball to the 35 rather than making them return it and hopefully holding them under the 30-yard line. Other than that, they played great, though.
Yeah, Andy, I've kind of been accused of being a little bit of a negative Nancy today on the airwaves. Not me, of course. But which one of those stands out as this needs to get fixed first? Got to start here, or this is the biggest, most occurring problem with this Green Bay Packer team that you just read off. Which one stands out the most to you?
Okay, this is a cop-out, so my apologies for this. The fact that all of these things are nothing that are particularly new, that they're all self-inflicted wounds, that they're all mistakes, whether it's drops, pre-snap penalties, penalties in the heat of the moment, missed, it's like special teams errors. Like, this is stuff that's been going on for, well past this year. If this stuff happens week 3 against the Browns, not, 50 of these in one game, but if decent, some of this stuff happens week 3 against the Browns, all right, you get a little bit of accident forgiveness. It's early in the season. It's still frustrating as heck. But the fact that all of these things are nothing new going back a year or two, the fact that these are nothing new, certainly this year, and that these sort of errors continue to happen. I looked at it from a coaching standpoint in 2 ways in this game. I thought Jeff Hafley and Matt LaFleur consistently in this game put their players in positions to be successful. I mean, all the catches, drops, interception opportunities, etc. Players were consistently in positions to be successful in this game. That is sort of coaching 101. Can you put your players in a position to be successful? I thought both of them did phenomenal in that regard. at the same time, from a head coaching standpoint, and I know some people are going to say that I'm a late adopter to this. That's okay. But I do think it's starting to be more fair to question the fact of like, can this coaching staff coach these type of mistakes out of this group of players? Because again, we've seen it for so long now, and it just is a lack of discipline. It's a lack of being able to go into games and not make these same mistakes over and over again. And we haven't seen the general and overall improvement from that standpoint for some period of time now.
Yeah, they're young, but they've been young for 3 years under the same system and the same coaches for the most part. It's time to figure it out. Andy Herman, the Pack a Day podcast on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. So are we saying there's a chance? Because we did really squander a lot of opportunities yesterday, and maybe that's the part that hurts the worst about this Packers team, is that holy hell, imagine we put together a game where we don't have that laundry list of mistakes. Now I think we're having a completely different conversation.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. And I think, but that's what we've sort of been waiting for. Detroit was, I think, a little bit of proof of concept in that first game of what that can look like. And again, I think a lot of people, myself included at times, are still viewing it through that lens of like, hey, we've seen this. We know what it can look like, but you're not doing it with any level of consistency whatsoever. And there's, I think that constant talking point of, are they playing down to their competition? We haven't seen this team just sort of easily beat a team again, at least again, since maybe Detroit. But yeah, if all of a sudden, listen, if all those errors that I read off, if just the catches took place on offense and defense, if they just caught the ball, that's like a 40-13 game. That's like a 40-13 game just on catches alone. Don't even miss extra points and penalties and all the other stuff. Keep that even stuff in there. Just catching the ball, and that thing's a boat race to the New York Giants, and they couldn't do it on either side of the ball. And I think that again it just leaves you. This team is the consistent, just leaving you wanting a little bit more, sometimes a lot of bit more, coming off of pretty much every single game.
Was boat race another pun there with the Giants too? I don't know. Yeah, sorry. Deep cut.
Okay.
Deep cut.
Andy, I'm going to ask the first positive question to get out ahead of Trevor on this one.
Love it.
Christian Watson, could we have expected virtually anything better than what he has given so far in his return from the ACL injury? And are you ready to see an offense that establishes him as, hey, he's our number one option now that Tucker Kraft is out?
Yes and yes. I mean, there's no way that this team right now, I don't know where they're at if they don't have him. If he gets back 3 weeks later from the injury, or if he comes back the last few weeks and is like 50% of Christian Watson. I guess they lost 2 of the 3 anyway, but I mean, they don't win that game yesterday without Christian Watson in that game. So he's been phenomenal. I cannot say enough about his ability not only to come back, but this is like the best version of Christian Watson we've seen, and it's coming off immediately a torn ACL, MCL, etc. I mean, the work that he put in, I don't know what, black magic, voodoo, whatever that he used to get that thing right. He looks fantastic, and all the credit to him for all the hard work, sweat, time, effort, and energy that he put in. And then, what was part 2? I already forgot it because I was so excited about Christian.
Number one option.
Feature him. Yeah, 1,000,000%. And part of me is disappointed / sad because I really wanted to see this offense with Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Tucker Kraft, and Josh Jacobs. And we will never get the opportunity in this particular season to see that. We'll have to wait till next year. But, eventually we should be able to see Watson, Reed, and, Jacobs and Golden all together on the field. And I think that has the ability to be an extremely potent offense. But right now, 1A on that list for everything needs to be Christian Watson.
And we talked about it earlier. I would appreciate a different celebration than a stanky leg of some kind that bends your knees in all sorts of different ways. Like, buddy, chill. We're good.
He's just showing off at this point. He's like, you know how good my knee is? Like, I will stanky leg all over the place. I will play on the Jets concrete in Giants concrete stadium with my bad knee, and it's still not going to be an issue. I'm still going to leap all over you and catch crazy passes. Like, he's just showing off at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna raise you one next week, Trevor. Be careful. If I see
Backflip.
Christian, oh God, I'll lose it. I'll lose my mind if that
He
happens.
can do it, right? He can do a backflip.
I'm sure he can, and I don't want him to prove it at all.
agree.
I have zero interest in seeing if he can do any backflip. Andy Herman, Pack a Day Podcast, joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Tommy Wirtz in for Josh Albrecht, Trevor Thomas, of course, here as well. Andy, okay, I'm going to go back to being Tommy now here. Are you ready to say, hey, Rashawn Gary, where the hell you been? And Tommy was like, just starting to be like, okay, hey, this guy, maybe he's something, but all of a sudden he's MIA every week now here too. And Micah Parsons can't do it every single play. We've seen that. He can make big plays, but he needs a little bit of help. And I'm concerned that this Lucas Van Ness injury was much bigger in hindsight now, and the front four really is just like a front one, and it's really just number one.
It has felt that way, certainly as of late, that it's Micah or bust, and that they just can't get home with the other group. Disappointing. Let's state two things at the same time. Number one, Rashawn Gary is not playing bad football. He is playing solid in run defense. He's being a more than serviceable player. Like he's a good football player. At the same time, for your expectations for him, going in just, a week before the season, he's expected to be your number one edge rusher. Now you get Micah Parsons and you're going to take all of that pressure off of him. Now, it's not like he's never getting double teamed or chipped or things like that. That has still happened from time to time, but he takes, Micah takes the lion's share of the pressure and all the double teams and triple teams, leaving Rashawn one-on-one on a lot of different occasions. And your expectation is that he is going to be more of a game wrecker. And that just has not happened at all. He has no sacks in his last 3 games, and they need him to be that game-changing defensive end. Tommy, you've been spot on this one. They need more from him. I think LVN coming back will hopefully help a ton, because this defensive line hasn't quite looked the same without him. I think still their best 4-man pass rush unit is with LVN, Wyatt, Rashawn Gary, and Micah Parsons all on the field together. We obviously haven't been able to see that with LVN out. But man, Rashawn Gary, just again, his contribution needs to be a little bit more. Also, I don't know if we'll see this week if he pops up on the injury report with something. Rashawn Gary and Kingsley Enagbare, per Justice Mosqueda, who charted the game, played the exact same amount of snaps in this game. Rashawn Gary came out of this game quite a bit, took a lot of what seemed like sort of rest snaps. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. But if you're going to do that, you had better come in fresh and powerful and causing a lot of disruption. Right now, he's not playing like that 50 snap, type of game. And he's staying pretty fresh. And when he's coming in, he's not coming in and making that huge impact. This team needs more from Rashawn Gary.
It's getting everything it could possibly need from Malik Willis when called upon. I asked the question earlier. It annoys the living you-know-what out of Tommy. But do we have a Taysom Hill situation here with a guy that could actually impact the game on an every so often basis?
Okay. I'm more with Tommy on this one.
I already love where this is going, Andy. Yes, continue.
This isn't necessarily my opinion. There's just a lot of people asking about it.
No,
and there was a lot of praise for Malik Willis after the game yesterday.
Matt LaFleur got asked about it as well. Pete Doherty, I think, asked the question, and I love Pete.
Which question are you talking about, Andy? It was the first 4 minutes was all Malik Willis stuff.
Now is where you're seeing.
Yeah, I think wherever it was. I know it was. He asked specifically about this of, can you put a sort of Malik Willis package in the game? Matt LaFleur said something to the effect of, if you remember against Chicago last year, they ran a play. Jordan Love's out at receiver. Malik Willis comes in as that quarterback, and they do some wildcat stuff. I don't think anything major happened on that play, if I remember correctly. But so here's where I'm at. I think in general, especially the way Jordan Love played yesterday. And just the way he's playing in general, you do not want to take him off the field. He's been fantastic. He's been phenomenal. Do I think that a running game that is struggling the way that it is has a little bit more of an opportunity simply because Malik Willis adds an extra number to the equation, where now teams have to account for his rushing ability on the field? It changes the numbers dynamics for a team that's rushing the ball so poorly already, that now his ability to keep and run for 16 yards at a time changes that dynamic a little bit and can maybe help the run game a little bit. I do think that is a true statement, that it does help that a little bit. Do I think it's probably worth taking Jordan off the field? I don't think so, but here's what I will say to placate some that would like to see a little bit more Malik Willis. In a game like Philly, for example, a couple weeks ago, where nothing on offense is clicking, where you just nothing in the passing offense, nothing in the running offense, you just can't get anything going. You do have that as it's a change of pace. And I'm not talking about for a drive. I'm not talking about for a quarter. I'm talking about, like, can you run 2 or 3 plays back to back to back? That is like a read option for Willis, and then like a play action off of it, and then maybe just a run play where you're going to show them 3 very unique looks where you don't know what you're going to get from it, and you let Malik Willis play those 3 plays. Sure, I think there's probably something like that you can do. I think if you went to Jordan Love and said, hey, we've got a 3-play package from Malik Willis that we think can be very successful in a certain situation, are you going to be okay if we take you out for those 3 plays where you're likely just going to hand off the ball in those situations anyway? I think of all quarterbacks, Jordan is confident enough to say, like, yeah, of course, if you want to run 3 plays with Malik Willis, go for it. Do I think that this is some sort of earth-shattering, game-changing thing? No. Would I probably do it? No, because as soon as it goes wrong, too, everyone's like, what does Matt LaFleur do? Why is he getting so cute? Just keep Jordan Love in the game. I probably just go with Jordan, but do I think you could use it in a unique scenario as a change of pace if your offense is struggling for a few plays? Sure, go for it. Have fun.
I think you can do that without causing a quarterback controversy.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Yes. The controversy? Don't even put Malik Willis and controversy in the same sentence, Trevor.
I didn't start it. Somebody was already on Twitter yesterday going, if Malik Willis comes down and does what he did yesterday and gets the offense humming, does Matt LaFleur have a decision to make? I mean, that was the conversation online yesterday.
Andy, it was the best 6 plays of all time. It was just literally, I can't believe it. I can't believe what's going on. I think Malik Willis does his job. I think he's damn good at his job. I think he's the best in the league at his job of backup quarterback. That's what I think. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think you're totally in the right spot. And I think, if anything, from a quarterbacking standpoint, what we should be talking about is how phenomenal Jordan was in willing his team, in my opinion, to victory in that second half, despite all the drops and all the stuff going on around him. Just would not let the team lose. I thought he was tremendous. I know the box score is not going to look like it, but when you have 7 drops on offense, that's a huge reason why. Jordan was fantastic in that game. It was one of my favorite performances of his, just from going down with the injury, coming back, and then again that 3rd and 10 to Savion Williams. That is potentially like a season-altering, season-saving play. And for Jordan in the wind to buy time and then throw that pass where only Savion could go up and get it, and of course, huge play by Savion Williams as well. I thought he was unbelievable in that game, and again showed you why you want Jordan Love on the field, despite how fantastic that Malik Willis was given that opportunity on that drive. And I'm with Tommy. I think it's certainly in the argument for best backup quarterback in the league. There's still a gap, a very sizable gap between Jordan Love and Malik Willis as a starting quarterback in this league.
Last one, Andy, before we let you go. 4 out of the next 5 games for the Packers are division rivals. Vikings, Lions, Bears. 1 game, Bears. 4 out of the next 5. And, oh, yeah, that game that's not a division rival is against the 9-2 Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Things don't get easier for the Packers from here. They get significantly harder, or maybe the need to be significantly more dialed in. Yet, the whole conversation, especially the way Jordan Love played, is this team is right there. I mean, it feels like they're right there, but some of these major mental mistakes are keeping them from staying right there. So if there's some things that they get to work on this week that's going to help them remain right there, what are they?
Yeah, I still think the offensive line needs to continue, to try to improve. I thought there were moments yesterday they looked better, but that Giants run defense is really bad, and it's not like they completely tore through them, although Josh Jacobs being hurt certainly didn't help that in any way, shape, or form. But I still think that the pass protection and run blocking up front, getting on the jugs machine probably helps a little bit this week. A little bit of that, concentration on both sides, both offense and on defense. And yeah, it's the attention to detail stuff. It's making sure they didn't have any, I don't think, alignment penalties yesterday, but it's all of the little things that end up resulting when you have 20, 25 little things that end up resulting in a huge thing. The kicker thing is going to have to get sorted out as well. Some of it was obviously wind yesterday. I don't know that all of it was wind. So I just think it's getting the little things cleaned up. And the schedule is interesting. Minnesota's a really bad football team. They're annoying. They're pesky, but they're not good. JJ McCarthy is rough right now. So you've got that game coming up at home. They're favored by, I think, 6 points to start off early in that game. The final game against Minnesota, in all likelihood, Minnesota will have absolutely nothing to play for in that game and will, basically be like an exhibition game for them. You've got to find a way to win those two. Obviously, Chicago's playing better football. You've got to figure out a way, in my opinion, to at minimum split against Chicago, whether it's a home and away. That gets you to 3-1 if you can beat Minnesota twice and beat Chicago. And then you've got the 3 really tough games, in my opinion: Detroit on the road, Denver on the road, Baltimore at home. And how they do specifically in those 3 games is going to go a long way, because the 3 wins, if you get 3 of those 4 that I mentioned, gets you to 9-4-1. 3 losses in those tough games, 9-7-1. Well, I don't think 3 wins is probably super likely, but 12-4-1 if you get those 3 wins. But there's a huge gap there from playoff seeding to maybe even getting in the playoffs, dependent upon how you really do in those 3 very difficult games.
And that's the way it's felt all year long. So why not just keep that train moving?
Yeah, fair enough.
Andy Herman at Andy Herman NFL on Twitter, the host of the Pack a Day podcast. We talk to him every Monday and every Friday, which means we'll chat with you on Friday, man. Good to see you.
Hey, can't wait. Thanks so much. Enjoy Victory Monday.
Amen. Andy Herman on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. What's Up Wisconsin is next. Moving on, what else do we get to look forward to today, tonight, and the week ahead? It's Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Trevor and Josh want to know.
What's up?
What's up, Wisconsin?
What's up?
What's your plan for the day?
What's up?
What are you doing tonight?
What's up?
Let us know what's up on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
What's up, Wisconsin? Let us know. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Wirtz, final segment, filling in for Josh. Josh returns tomorrow morning. He'll have lots to share from his time at Disney and his time at the Warp Tour, the Vans Warp Tour down in Florida. What's up today, Tommy? What does your life look like when your alarm doesn't go off at whatever time you get out of bed, or off the couch, I should say?
I will be here until a little after the Crosby show ends, finishing up some post work, 5 to 6, Wisconsin Sports Wrap Up. Will just be some recorded segments from earlier in the day, as we typically do, with less Tommy screaming. You already did that for 3 hours today. So
You did good.
Yeah, it'll be a pretty chill day. Nap is definitely on the horizon. I got one of those in me, and I'm excited, man. I told you a little bit about my crock pot adventures last week. Like, I made an Italian sausage. I was trying to make it a chili. I think it's a little brothy, so it might be a soup. But either way, it is fantastic, man. I brought a little bit of it to work. Like I said, I want to see if like Charlie will try some. I know Mitch won't, but like maybe Sparky. I don't know how their spice. How is your spice tolerance?
On the front side, my tolerance is great.
Yeah.
It's after the fact that my tolerance does not. I don't have any tolerance anymore.
Like, I think the hottest thing in there is a jalapeno.
Yeah, I can handle that. I'm just saying, like, if I can avoid it, as a man that now apparently has to watch what I eat in that category, that sucks. Because I love a decently spicy chili, or I love red pepper flakes on a pizza.
Yeah.
But I literally said to my wife the last time I put way too many red pepper flakes on my pizza, I said, if you love me, you will never let me do this again. It was so bad.
Could reuse them on the other side.
Good. Holy.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, I'm all in on the spice. It's probably like a 5 or 6 on that scale. If you go to 10, it's not anything uncomfortable, but you have a few bites of it and you're like, ooh, okay. All of a sudden now I'm feeling it. But that's pretty much my day today. Watch some Monday Night Football, of course, as well, and just hang out.
Yeah, the Bucks play again tonight too. I mean, they split over the weekend. A fantastic game on Friday night with the Charlotte Hornets and Con Knippel.
Did Con have more than 2,000 people there? I mean, that place was bumping for Con. We heard it was going to be 2,000. That might have undersold it.
Yeah. 32 points.
Yeah.
So you remember when we talked to Jeff Norgard last week and I said that he had a decent game?
You were right.
I got a text of Con shooting a 3 from Jeff Norgard's phone, and it said, decent.
You're never going to live that one down.
No.
Hey, you were right. 16 is decent. 32 is amazing.
See?
Yeah.
32 was unbelievable.
Hopefully,
for Con Knippel on Friday.
We can get to a point where it's a decent game at 32.
Bucks at Cavs, 6 o'clock tonight. The NFL Monday night game's a dud. Dallas Cowboys at Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, points, baby. A lot of points.
What's the over-under? Any idea? Look it up. Maybe we can place a quick bet. We'll see.
I'm going to guess it's 50. I'm going to say 50 on the dot.
All right. I'll take the under.
Guess.
If it is, I'll take the under. The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. Trevor, did you shoot a buck this weekend? I did not. But there is a buck hanging around by our stands that we have on camera that's a little bit smarter than us at this current time. Showed up an hour and 15 minutes after some family got out of the stand last night. We're on to you, bud. We are on to you. What's the over-under?
It's 50 on the dot.
Shut
I
up.
swear to God, I'm a degenerate, man. Like that was actually, I swear I never saw it. I didn't see it even looking forward. But we make picks every week. I got to have some sort. I do a segment with Austin Herdina all the time at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He's one of my favorite people that I get to work with because of this job. Yeah, I mean, I that's why my hands flew up. It's 50 right on the dot. So I feel pretty good.
Under.
I love the line. I love it. Points.
What are you going to take, though?
Over.
Okay, so you're over. I'm under.
Yeah.
Good news. We don't get to talk about that tomorrow because you're not here.
Good news.
Maybe you can jump on the show. Get you out of bed early just because.
8:45. I'll be there.
And we'll be here bright and early at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's what a Victory Monday should feel like, Wisconsin. Positive, optimistic. Do we see room for opportunity? We do. And it starts with catching the ball and maybe blocking for the dude throwing it. But I digress. A Victory Monday nonetheless. 27-20 Packers. So let's take that into the division, shall we? It's the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You are inside Wisconsin sports. We are not done yet. See you tomorrow.